to Sheikh Hasina are saying the country is being pushed towards complete radicalization. These are the statements coming from sources close to Sheikh Hasina in response to the death sentence and this conviction by the ICT today. Verdict not on legal lines, that's what they're challenging. And the country is being pushed towards complete radicalization. Siddhant, let me come back to you. Of course, when we talk about this conviction and this death sentence that Sheikh Hasina is looking at, what risk does this conviction and this sentence pose for political stability in Bangladesh?
Yeah, that's right. So Manoj Gupta has managed to speak to sources in Awami League. In fact, I did manage to speak to Jahangir Kabir Nanak, former minister in the Sheikh Hasina's government. Now, they are calling it a kangaroo court by the people of Bangladesh. This is a predetermined judgment. They are also calling it ridiculous, false judgment. The case is
right.
false, lies
Siddhant,
and deceit.
I'm just going to have to interject. We have Deep Haldar, journalist and author of Inshallah Bangladesh, joining us right now on the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us as well. What is your assessment of this conviction and the sentence that Sheikh Hasina is looking at?
Look, I think it was on expected lines. I happened to speak to Hasina's information minister, Mohammad Arafat, last Saturday for the print. And he told me in the interview, it just come out, he told me in the interview that, the International Crimes Tribunal is compromised. The judges of the Crimes Tribunal have, the Crimes Tribunal itself was reconstructed in a way so that, such a judgment would come. And in the past, they have let go of war criminals. Convicted war criminals have been let go by the same International Crimes Tribunal. So this was a judgment on expected lines. Sheikh Hasina is in India, so it may not mean much on the ground for her. But what it does mean is what also Mohammad Arafat alleged, that jihadist forces have taken control of the country. I have been talking about, and not just me, a lot of people have been talking about, people who follow Bangladesh, how the Jamaat-e-Islami Bangladesh and other radicalist forces have taken control of the judiciary, of academia, of media, of practically all institutions. So even though you have Mohammad Yunus as the caretaker to the interim government of Bangladesh, the country practically are being run by Jamaat and allied forces. So it's just one more, it just goes on to prove yet again how a kind of narrative is being pushed, and prosecuting Sheikh Hasina, giving her a death penalty, is one more instance of that.
Right, absolutely. Now, you're also the author of Inshallah Bangladesh. I will come to you on that as well. But just before that, we were discussing this and trying to ascertain as well. And of course, as and when reactions pour in, we will know that as well. How credible is this tribunal and this sentence in the eyes of the international community? Because they have a big role to play here as well.
See, the Crimes Tribunal, now, this is Mohammad Arafat was a Hasina minister, right? He's a very prominent voice in the Awami League ecosystem. Now, supporters of Sheikh Hasina would raise doubts about the judgment and also the kind of judges who were taken in the International Crime Tribunal. But the fact is that right now, this is what we have in Bangladesh, and they have given a verdict. Elections are slated for early February next year. There is now I think with this verdict, there is no chance that Sheikh Hasina can go back to Bangladesh before the elections. And Mohammad Yunus has already said that Awami League will not be part of the next elections. So this just solidifies the point that, there will be if there is an election in February next year, early February next year, it will be without the Awami League, it will be without Sheikh Hasina. Now, how credible it is for everybody to guess. So, people who are opposed to Sheikh Hasina within Bangladesh and outside Bangladesh, there are also some foreign diplomats who have been very vocal about wanting Sheikh Hasina out of Bangladesh and who wants Sheikh Hasina to face trial and to accept the judgment. So, who may have a certain point of view about the judgment, but Awami League is still a very powerful, very potent political force within Bangladesh. So I think to a large section of Bangladeshis still inside Bangladesh, this is a huge shock.
Right, let's also now talk about Inshallah Bangladesh, your work, the story of an unfinished revolution.
Right. So, Inshallah Bangladesh basically maps this period from the downfall of Sheikh Hasina to now. So, it basically says what the headline is today. It says that that gradually the country was taken over by Jamaat Islami, other forces. How there were a few steps that Sheikh Mohammed Yunus wanted to take in this period, like bring in various reforms. Most importantly, 433 recommendations by the Women's Reforms Commission. Now, all of it, and most recently, the appointment of music teachers in primary schools in Bangladesh. All such decisions, the government had to go back on because of pressure from fundamentalist forces. So this is a period where, there are ways and ways of looking at this interim period in Bangladesh. But I think one thing that stands out is how the Jamaat Islami Bangladesh has taken control of the narrative of Bangladesh. It's something which our MP, Shashi Tharoor, also mentioned. When the Jamaat student wing, the Chhatra Shibir won the elections in the Dhaka University Students' Union. Right? And I think Mr. Shashi Tharoor tweeted at that time that are we looking at a scenario when there is a Jamaat government in Bangladesh and India will have to deal with a Jamaat government in Bangladesh?
Right.
So I think Inshallah Bangladesh basically tries to map this period and shows the various fault lines in society. Shows the reason why young Bangladesh is so angry with India. Civil society in Bangladesh, even during Hasina's time, was very anti-India, and now it's out in the open. And how even finally how jihadist forces are taking control of the narrative in Bangladesh.
All right.